So today I'm going to be using slow reveal graphs, and guess what, folks? There's a bunch already made for you. So check out Jenna's Twitter and Reveal Graphs website to get more. And if you're just joining us, this next part, the way that we're going to do this is through the chat box. So you can, if you like, just follow me on the Collaborate. And we're going to use the chat box to do a chat waterfall. So slide 6 has some lovely little lines. And a chat waterfall works by you writing something that you notice about this graph in the chat box, but don't hit enter yet. Don't hit enter yet. We're going to hit enter at the same time. So head over to Collaborate, go to the chat box, and write something that you notice. How would you describe this graph? And as the first set of chat waterfalls come in, you are welcome to continue writing and hitting enter if you have more ideas. But it is sometimes nice to see a whole bunch appear at once. So go ahead and hit enter. What you'll notice is the chat box is going to be filled with responses. As the teacher, I can then read some of these and ask a couple students to speak out loud. But this also builds student confidence in participating in your class because they can kind of get lost in the crowd. It's not like everyone's staring at them. And I'm going to start off with Molly. Hi, Molly. Can you tell us, you said that 2 lines overlap. Where do you see that?
Hi. Yeah, I was looking at the green and the yellow lines kind of intersecting with each other.
And do you see it like, tell me, I'm going to start moving this arrow. You tell me kind of when to stop when I'm there.
Sorry, my thing, you need to go back. My thing was,
That's
I was
okay.
muted.
That's okay.
That happened. It's at the point where they just start to touch, which is it's underneath the arrow right now. Yeah, right about there.
Right about there. Cool. So I did ask Molly to tell me where you were referencing, because if I was going to use my own teacher brain, I might have chosen here, I may have chosen here, I may have chosen here. So it's important to me to value her voice. If during our conversations you're like, whoa, I did not think of that, please let us know with the whoa, I didn't think of that emoji. You can look through in the emojis. This is the one my students typically use. That's like an aha moment. It's always fun to see how many of those we get. And also, Mary, you mentioned that only one ultimately increased. Can you tell us which one you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm talking about the gold. I believe it's the gold line. It's kind of hard to tell because your arrow is in front of the increase.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a beginning and there's an end to the line, and the gold is the only line that is above where it started.
Cool. Ah, I see that there's some people that are having aha moments. So where it originally started. How about I turn this arrow so we can see it? Excellent. And we're going to continue with our chat waterfall. This graph is going to reveal some new stuff. Here we go. What additional information do we know now? And you might also tell us like what you notice about number of years. Go ahead and put your thoughts in the chat, but hold off on hitting enter. and go ahead and start that waterfall. Laura, you mentioned something about 1992. What's so special here and what do you notice?
Hi, Teresa. I noticed that in 1992, all of the graphs, like there was like a spike or an increase. So I'm wondering something must have happened because that data point shows an increase across all four line graphs.
Ah, so there's something powerful here. And Kathy, you noticed that there's something about every 4 years. How did you see that in the graph?
When I looked at the labels
Mhm.
on the horizontal axis, I noticed that there was, these things were pretty much every 4 year, which made me wonder if it was like presidential or something, presidential elections. And so it seems like there are shifts in each one of the graphs for those.
There's shifts there. Very cool. I noticed that Gail is also giving us some other information that happens every 4 years, like the Olympics, but now they're winter summer. How cool is that? How might we use this graph for Olympics, Gail?
Just, I don't know, countries from parts of the world that participate, participants, different year, numbers of participants in different sports. Not sure.
Yeah, but I like your connection to the Olympics there. Very cool. Um, on slide 8, I'm going to go ahead and reveal that one. Um, some of the questions in here are like, what does the 0% and 100% mean? Maybe if you track these lines, what story does it tell? We're going to do a chat waterfall again in just a minute. Go ahead and get your ideas in. All right, let's see that chat. So now it seems like we're getting more into either the presidential election or the Olympics. How fun is that we're able to make those connections? I'm going to move into a couple more here just so we can have a chance to explore. And we're not going to do the chat waterfall anymore. Instead, we'll just open the chat box to lots of different thoughts. What new information do we have now on slide 9? So a lot of people are starting to think about ages. And now, how about now that we have a title? Voting rates by ages. So looking at this graph, why do you think it stops at 2016? What do you wish you knew more about? Hi, Martha. You mentioned that maybe we don't have that data yet. Tell me why you think that. Like, what kind of makes you have that direction in your thinking?
Because the election was not that long ago.
Mhm.
Kind of a simple answer.
Yeah, we could maybe even predict it, right? We could say like what we're thinking. And Julia, you mentioned that 1992. Um, you're right there along with me. I want to know what happened there. Something's going on there. So this is the original graph. This is the source. And again, if you head to Jenna's website, what I did here is actually took it directly off her site. I didn't make any real changes to it, just to kind of showcase a way that we can do this online. I do also really enjoy the opportunity to use breakout rooms. But one of the things I was trying to showcase in this example is how we increase student confidence using this task. So by using the chat waterfall, kids can get kind of lost in the crowd, which is something that they start to appreciate. Um, I'm going to select certain students to speak based on my goals. And then I like to keep the recordings directly on the graph, right along with what people are saying and seeing the way that those recordings change over time. The Emoji Connect, I actually get a lot more participation with my middle school students with the emojis. It's like they just can't stop putting them in the chat box. And what that tells me is that they want a voice, they want a chance to kind of share their thinking, and they're in front of their computers and they're ready to engage. So those are some of the things that I like to bring into the virtual world.